I'm just tryna make it out now. I'm just tryna make it out now. I'm just tryna make it out now. I'm just tryna make it out now.
What's up, y'all, man? We back with another episode. But this episode is gonna be kind of special because it's something that is touching on, could be a touchy topic, but I think it's a much needed conversation. And truth be told, is one of the podcasts that just not a funny podcast or a serious interview. It kind of encompasses a lot of different topics. And with that being said, some of those topics may not necessarily side on your opinion. We may sway to the left. Half of us may sway to the right.
Absolutely.
But that's the beautiful thing about a podcast. That's the beautiful thing about people's opinions, their feelings, and their outlook on just life in general.
Absolutely.
There's way too many serious topics out there and serious events and incidents that happen when you're never going to have 100% of people that agree on something.
No.
It's just not going to happen.
Always going to be.
So because of that, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that we're not here to say we're right.
Absolutely.
We're just here to voice our opinion and talk about
Absolutely.
something that happened.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. So let me ask you guys this. We just had the George Floyd case, right?
Yes, sir.
And I was actually in my house paying attention to that, just like millions of other people that was tuned in trying to find out what the verdict was.
Yes, sir.
And when the verdict came out, I was thoroughly pleased that finally we had a cop, line of duty, murder, that finally, we felt like we had justice, or justice had been served.
Pleased or relieved?
I was relieved.
Yeah,
Me too.
Because what would have happened?
They would have tore that shit up.
Yeah.
Minneapolis would have tore that shit up, and other places.
Yeah.
So you saying we would have had a round two, but I kind of feel round two would have been a lot worse than round one.
Definitely.
Worse or worse?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Worse or worse?
it'd have been scary.
Definitely.
It would've been scary.
That would have been real scary.
It'd have been.
Because you got to go back to the Trayvon Martin trial when you know this dude was definitely wrong. And for him to be, get off as, not guilty. And then if that would have happened with the George Floyd trial, he would have got off as not guilty. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That definitely been a scary moment.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you guys, man, did y'all hear about the 16-year-old girl, Makiah Bryant? What happened not too long ago? Actually,
Columbus, Ohio.
in Columbus,
Yeah.
Ohio. Actually, it happened the same day that we were actually waiting for the jury to come back.
Right.
Right.
This incident took place in Columbus, Ohio, where a 16-year-old girl got shot by a cop. She got shot 4 times, man. Just imagine, we're sitting there. Let me tell you how I found out. As I'm waiting, just like everybody else, I'm strolling through Facebook, and a young guy in Columbus, went live. And when he went live, he shared the news way here in Florida that, hey, we got a young lady that just got shot by a cop. And I was like, oh, God damn. Well, we don't need this.
Yeah.
Here we,
Right in the midst of this
yeah.
mess,
here we go again.
here we go again. Here we go again. Right?
Yep.
Young, black, female just been killed. Laying in the road.
Mm.
That's what I heard. That's the first information I got about that. The next thing I started seeing was different texts from different celebrities and stuff like that, man. And I want to kind of share with you guys what took place. I don't know. Didn't you guys see the video?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
see
saw
the video.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the video, man, how it went was there was a 911 call that went out, and the dispatcher answered, and there was a young lady that was saying, hey, we got some people over here with a knife trying to stab us. We need you guys to hurry up and get here. 10 minutes later, the first police officer arrived on the scene. Now picture this. He arrived on the scene. He immediately got the car. And he was met, or at least he was going to meet this young lady that was coming over to address him about, hey, what's going on? He asked, hey, what's going on?
Wow.
And the minute he said that, the second he said, hey, what's going on, a distraction of a young lady fell down to the ground where there was another young black female
You got the
was
guy
charging
kicking
her.
at her.
Yeah, it was charging her. And he tried to stop her. Hey, hold on.
Right.
And the next second, she turned around and she drew her attention towards the young lady that was trying to approach the cop the first time
Right.
with a knife. The girl was pinned on the car. She was charging the girl. Weapon was up. 4 shots.
Whoa.
Young lady on the ground.
Man. All this in front of the police.
Police, man. So my thing is, man, I want to ask you guys, because a lot of times where I've noticed, and it's you know, it's one of those situations where I can't even blame us at this point. But there's certain things that maybe we could do a little bit different. But I want to have a conversation about it. I want to pick you guys' brain and get your take on this situation. Now keep in mind, Pop, I got another black female dead by a cop.
That's tough, and my heart goes out to the family. And from my understanding, she was in foster care, and the foster care parents were present on the scene as well. Am I correct?
Well, I don't think the foster care parents were there. I don't know who those folks were. I don't think they've been identified yet.
Okay.
But I don't think the foster care parent was actually at work.
Okay.
Mhm.
But it
Well,
was
either
some
way,
adults
that's-
out there, right?
Right. Yeah. Either way, it's
I
tough. So
think
my
an
heart
adult
goes
was a
out to
male
that
that
family.
kicked at the one girl, I think, right?
There was an adult that actually, when the first young lady fell to the ground,
The adult
and
male.
they kind of thank God she did fall, you know, and I believe that may have even kind of saved her from getting stabbed. And really, that she fell to the ground. But after the young lady turned and drew attention to the other young lady, there was an adult out there that was trying to kick her.
Right.
Mm. Mm.
It's oh man, this
So-
incident is real touchy, but because it's real different from the George Floyd case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, with the George Floyd case, you got a cop that blatantly, you know, had his knee in Mr. Floyd's neck, you know, cut off his breathing, and
9 minutes.
you know,
28
for 9
seconds.
minutes, and you know that's what killed him. With this situation, you have a cop responding to a hostile situation already. You know, he got a call from a young lady, 911 call from a young lady that's saying, you know, somebody trying to stab, or this lady got a knife or whatever. But if I'm not mistaken, didn't that call come from the young lady that got shot?
Well, they haven't determined that yet. What the research that I've been, they haven't necessarily determined who made that phone call yet.
Okay. Okay.
But a bigger question is, you know, at this point, should the cop be like the other guy with the George Floyd situation? Should he go to jail? Should he have done something different? Was he right in shooting her? Could he have used a lesser lethal weapon? You know, I've heard many things. From what I've read, I have some people that's ready to Black Lives Matter march. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's go. Let's get this thing started.
Yeah.
Hey, let's rally. We got another black female that has been killed by a cop.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, we got LeBron James. He made a comment. Hey, you next. Meaning, hey, you cop. Hey, you got to go to jail.
Yeah. That's
You got to go to jail.
It's
How you feel, Pete?
It's touchy. It's touchy because, like you say, you know, just human nature alone, you know, bunch of questions come to mind. You know, obviously. Well, I'm not. I can't. I take that back. I got to retract that. Can't say obviously he had to shoot because again, whether the option, I don't know. You know, it was a tough decision, a tough situation that police officer was put in. I'm gonna tell you that right now because first thing you come to your mind, you know, why couldn't he shoot her arm or leg or something? Why did it have to be a fatal shot? To what if he didn't? What if he didn't shoot her?
What that mean? What you mean by what if he did?
What if he didn't shoot her? What was that girl gonna do
with that knife.
with that knife that she was charging? Again, it's so touchy feely because out of respect for Makiah Bryant's family and the ones that are grieving her, man, my heart goes out, and that's a tough situation, unfortunate situation. But like you said earlier, the common denominator is we have another black life that's, you know, the result of
Man.
law enforcement interaction.
Yeah, God, Bob, let me ask you, bro. Do you think that this cop that came on that scene should go to jail?
That's tough, man. 'Cause I seen the video. Everything happened so fast, man. It was just, I mean, we can say this, we can say that, you know, but it's a tough situation because, first of all, I just want to say this. As black folks, we tired.
Absolutely.
You know, we tired. The black community is tired. And it's going on too much. Now, I don't know. I don't know about other races. I can't speak on that because we don't really see other races on TV getting shot by cops. It might be out there. They might be, but they don't show it on TV like they show cops shooting us, you know, and we tired, man. And I'm also tired of the violence amongst each other. That's where it started at first. I watched the video. They called the cops, basically told the cops, hey, it's some physical situation going on over here. There's already a drummer at that scene. So when that cop get that call, he already know I'm on my way to some trouble.
To a hostile situation. Right.
Situation was already hostile. They already out there, you know, going at it, whatever. So for him to get that call, I'm assuming he already had his gun ready. He was already in defense mode. He pretty sure he knew he was going to probably in the city situation. It was something going on. He knew that was negative. So when he got on the scene, he was already ready to do whatever. But when he heard that it was a knife on the scene, I'm assuming that's what he heard. Did somebody call and say it was a knife?
Somebody called and said that it was a stabbing, like somebody trying to stab us.
Okay. So when he got there, he got a knife on his mind. And then when he seen the person with the knife charging somebody else, his reaction was whatever they trained to do. I don't think cops shoot to hurt. I think they shoot to kill. Because I think from what I hear from the cop world, police world, they go to the gun range. That's what they do. They shoot, send a mass.
Send a mass, yeah.
You know, and send a mass mean what, chest, you know, the abdomen area and all that. Most likely when you shoot that part of the body, man, you know, it's just so sad, man. You know, a girl be 16 years old, man, you know, to get killed, you know, for any situation, man. I know me being a parent, when my kids leave the house, I want to see my kids come back to the house.
Right.
Regardless, I don't know what they're doing out there, but when they leave, I want to see them come back. When that cop left his house, his wife and kids want to see him come back.
Absolutely.
You know, and if the cop didn't show up to that scene, somebody was going to eventually get hurt. I can't necessarily say the girl was going to, whoever had that knife, I can't necessarily say she was going to kill whoever she was trying to stab, but a knife going to hurt something on your body.
Right.
You know, I just wish, man, us as a culture, kill this violent stuff, man. We need to calm down with all this violence and hate amongst each other. You know, it's a sad, sad situation, man, to Makiah family. You know, my heart goes out to them. Yeah. And
well, let me give you.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, let me give you a little bit more information, man. So it's my understanding that the two young ladies that were over there at that foster home.
Mm-hmm.
So Makiah, her younger sister, and another young lady lives in that foster home. So there was 3 foster kids in that house.
Mm.
The 2 girls that came over, they were former foster kids in that house. And they were going over for housekeeping. And this all got started because it was an argument about, hey, y'all need to make sure y'all clean the rooms.
Right.
So from that argument, it led to this.
Mm.
And the thing about this, though, B-Mobile, I'm going to ask you, bro, is that, because immediately I saw how it was a protest about to start. Another black female that has been murdered by a cop. Do you feel that as a culture, especially at these times, and I understand it, it's way too many of us have died.
Yeah.
But at the same time, do we immediately jump without all the details?
Again, real and it's touchy because, and I'm gonna put it out there. You got, as God Barber said, this cop left home. If he's married with kids, his family want him to return home. You know, cops are already dealing with so much out there, and not every cop is bad. Not every cop is going out there looking to kill a black or brown individual. You know, when he responded to the call, you know, it was already letting him know that, you know, you responded to a call with a knife. You know, so when he got out, I'm thinking, to me on the video, it looked like he already had his gun drawn, because you got a girl running at him and fell. You got this girl but chasing her behind her. Then you got this knife coming into play. You know, what if he wouldn't have shot her? Not saying he had to kill her. You know, and I hate to be the bad guy in this, but if nothing wouldn't have happened, what would we be talking about then? You know, what would we be talking about then? Another black person killed, you know, another black person, you know?
That cop might get heat.
Yeah, the
for,
cop get heat for not
why you
for
didn't
not
do
why you
anything.
ain't do
So
nothing
now
because
that family
it's
that
black on
the
black
victim-
crime. You know what I'm saying? It's black on black, so
Right.
you're not gonna intervene in it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know that cop kind of he in a tough situation. You know,
Very
and
tough, man.
Dang, well,
and you know, sometimes, you know, oh man, I know I might get some heat for this, but I'm gonna say it. Sometimes we just gotta comply. Just comply when they around. If they already got us, if they in our presence, man, I know we get so frustrated and we've been through so much, you know, from the slavery days and all that stuff, and we get so frustrated when we might just be out and they just come harass us. And you know, anytime a cop show up, we automatically think this cop bad, this cop bad, this cop bad. You know, sometimes we just gotta be quiet and comply. All right, sir, you know, nothing going on here, or whatever the case may be. Even if they finna take you to jail, hey man, get you some money, get you a lawyer. Sometimes just comply,
yeah, man.
and that'll keep us out some of these situations, man. You know, of us getting killed by these people. You know, and like I said, that's just my opinion of it. You know,
Yeah.
I know I might get some backlash, which is cool, but hey, man, we just
Well,
gotta,
man,
we just
well,
gotta
that's
comply.
part of
We gotta
that's
comply.
part of it. B, we can't be afraid of these tough conversations.
No, definitely.
And
definitely.
you know, to piggyback off of what you said in regards to not all cops are bad, man. Big shout out to law enforcement, man. These dudes, you know, while we home sleeping, these cats in the streets,
Yeah.
you know, trying to make sure that, you know, our community is safe. Now, are there a few bad apples? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That can go for anything. There are a few bad apples as far as basketball players, pro athletes. There are a
Yep.
few
Yeah.
bad apples when it comes to teachers, educators.
Yep.
You know, there are a few bad apples everywhere.
Yep.
You know, in anything. So definitely want to, you know, shout those guys out. And truth be told, I thought it was a good idea, you know, to kind of bridge the gap between our youth. And what I mean by that, the other morning at Lincoln Middle, shout out to Manatee County Sheriff Office, Rick Wells. Rick Wells himself, you know, showed up along with, you know, about 8 to 9 law enforcement personnel. And they showed up for two reasons. One, to send a positive message, introduce, you know, themselves to our kids, you know, have conversation, have questions, Q&As if the kids needed it. But then we made it fun. It was a sheriff office versus, you know, students, you know, volleyball game. So it ended like that. And shout out to Technology, came in and did some filming and put together a nice little video of that moment. Then at the end, took a group picture, mixing it up. And again, B, it goes back to, like you say, you know, both of you guys, you know, you mentioning our people, we have a responsibility to stop the violence. We have a responsibility to comply. You know, at the same time, law enforcement, you know, has a responsibility as well, how to deal with us. And believe it or not, man, these situations, I know you have police training, academy, and this and that, but the way things are now, it's got to be more special training, so to speak. I think I was having a conversation with you, Real, and I made the comment, well, why couldn't, if he had to shoot, and again, I don't know. You know, again, I might receive backlash. It might be somebody cussing my ass out right now saying, no, he did not have to shoot. I don't know. Again, that he was put in a tough situation, didn't have but so much time to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But too, on top of that experience, he could have shot that other girl too.
Absolutely.
The other girl could have
Absolutely.
been injured in that shooting.
Absolutely. So going back to the point I was going to, I think I had a conversation with you. It's like, why, if he had to shoot, why couldn't he maybe shoot an arm or maybe what about shooting in the air? What do people do when shots are fired in the air? That kind of gets people attention. I don't know. But then it was brought to my attention that law enforcement, they are. And I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm not speaking. I don't know. Please, the law enforcement, correct me so we can educate. But they're taught to shoot center mass. Now, I'm not an expert in anything, but to me, that sounds like center mass. That's like all up in here.
Yeah.
That's some all up in here shit right here. You know what I mean?
That's
And
deadly force.
you know what I mean? So, again,
Well, maybe to answer your question, the way that they are trained, right? And you got to think about this, guys. They are trained to shoot center mass when there's a threat of death to the next individual.
okay, let me stop you right there. Number one is, are all law enforcement agencies taught that? That's number one. And then number two, you say he's taught or they're trained to shoot center mass if they're threatened. Is it, do you talk about their own life? Because his life wasn't threatened to the
No.
point where he had to shoot that
No.
girl center mass.
No. It's a threat to life.
Oh, threat to life. Okay.
Threat to life.
Okay.
in general.
Okay.
It don't have to be his life. If
Okay.
there's a threat to life,
Okay.
Yeah.
he's trained or they're trained to shoot center mass. There's no shoot in the arm.
Gotcha.
There's no shot in the air.
Yeah.
And you guys got to think about it. And I asked this before. And I understand because I try to put myself in that cop's position. I try to put myself in the driver's seat. I try to put myself in his shoes of when he stepped out that car. And that was a matter of all that stuff happened
That's
So
why.
quick,
10
man.
seconds,
That's
less
why-
than 10
yeah, that's why,
seconds.
man,
That's
listen,
so
man.
quick, so
exactly.
quick, man.
Exactly. That's
10
why.
seconds.
Again,
So quick,
it's
man.
tough. It's tough. It's tough.
So if he doesn't,
Woo.
do that, and Barbara, let's just say that was your daughter that was pinned against that car. If that was your daughter pinned against that car, and you got somebody with a knife that is willing and about to stab your
Yeah.
daughter,
Yeah.
are you thinking about anything other than your daughter's life at that point?
Yeah, man. I mean, golly, man, that's so touching, man, because I do have a daughter, and she's 19. Like I said before, I want to see my daughter come home. When she leave the house, I want to see her come home. And if I come up on the scene and I see my daughter where I can't get to her to save her, I'm hoping somebody else would save her. If I see she in danger, you know. Do I wish death on people? No, man. But oh man, sometimes, man, at that moment, man, I just hate to say it, man, because like I said, we tired, man. We tired of this cop shooting black and brown people, man. We tired. So it's hard for us to understand, and it's hard for us to reason with the police. Because all we've been seeing lately, man, is cops killing us, man. So I don't want to sit here and try to take up for the cop, but he was put in a
Tough situation.
tough
situation.
situation, man. And I feel so. It's touching, man. It's a touchy subject.
And the God, Barbara, check this out, man.
It's touching, man.
It was a narrative. You got to think about this. When I saw that Facebook page and on that Facebook Live, and that young black male was talking about, hey, we had another killing. Really, man, he was putting out a narrative.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, what makes this case so unique than a lot of other cases, the police department put out those body cam footage in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
And you got to imagine the pressure of what was already going on with the George Floyd, right? So they decided, hey, I can't let that narrative get out, so we need to go ahead and put some out.
Put it out
as
right
well.
now.
Right now, I'm gonna let
So
y'all.
people
I'm gonna let
see
y'all
it.
know
It's
what
almost,
happened.
It's almost
Yeah.
like let the people decide. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's get some feedback from the people to see, how they feel about this. You know what I'm saying? But then again, is that a cop out?
Well, I don't even think it's.
Is it a cop out for and this is the only reason I say that, real? Is it a cop out because you got two black girls in a situation, one black girl got a knife, and the cop had to make a decision. Do I save this girl from getting hurt? Do I save this one black girl from getting hurt? Or do I just let the black girl stab the other black girl?
Well, I got a problem with that. Because I don't think he's thinking that. I don't think he's thinking black or white.
I can agree with that.
I don't think he's saying
But I
which
said
black
that
girl
because
gonna
of
get.
why was it so important for the police department to release that footage within the 24 hours of an incident?
I think it was
Because you got to get internal affairs and all that stuff involved, right?
I think, at the end of the day, with what's going on, A, they want to send a message that we transparent.
Right.
And I think B, we want to, let you know we ain't trying to hide nothing.
Like we not wrong.
Right.
Like my deputy was not wrong
That's
in
why
this situation.
Right. So
That's
I'm
why
gonna
they
show
put it
you-
out there.
Right. So
Trust
I'm
me,
gonna show
I
you
don't
this, right?
think they would have released it
Right.
If they
if
didn't
Not
they
like that.
felt like someone was
Not like
janky.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
I
Right.
think they released it because they honestly felt like
Yeah.
off of maybe a couple different angles of looking
Yeah.
at it.
Right.
Oh, we good.
Yeah.
Oh, let's release this video.
Right, because
Yeah.
we've had other instances where it's taken so long for the footage to be released.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in some cases have yet to be released. So
Yeah.
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 you absolutely.
On situations like that, Pop, thank God for the people who out there who film those things.
Man, that's the
Right.
difference.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
Because I don't
that
think the
is.
police would have released that George Floyd thing if it weren't for the people out there who already
Man,
had
you
put it out
exactly
there.
right.
Now
You know.
Exactly right.
Man, look at here.
But you know what I want to know? I want to know, how do it feel to be behind a badge? You feel me?
A lot of them jokers behind that badge hide behind it too, Green.
That's what I'm saying. How do
You
it
know,
feel?
they take that badge and they macho, they this, they that.
Yeah, man.
But without that badge, I guarantee you, they.
What, I'm thinking, Brian, when they put that badge on, they feel like, man, you know what? I can pretty much do whatever and get away with it because this badge justify everything I'm doing.
Right.
You know, this badge. I can go out there and disrespect somebody, and the badge can save me. Because how many times that badge done save a whole lot of cops that's doing dirty stuff.
Right.
That
And
badge
especially
do
with
the
the
talking.
situations where
That badge do the talking.
like with the Trayvon Martins and other situations where they gotten off, because of that badge, actually with this Trayvon Martin situation, he wasn't even a police.
He wasn't
Yeah.
even
He's
right.
a bum ass security guard.
Yeah, man.
And I don't mean bum in a good way.
Yeah.
A real bum.
Yeah.
Certified.
Certified bum.
But I'm gonna throw something else out there too, y'all. I don't wanna. We're not bashing the police department
Oh, no.
Absolutely.
whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Whatsoever, because we do truly need
Absolutely.
police. Could you imagine?
The good ones.
Yeah.
I can throw that out there.
But the
We
thing
need
is-
the good ones.
But the
Man,
thing
we
is,
got
how we
some-
know?
we got some
We
how
got
we-
some hella. We got some good
We
ones.
got some
But I'm
good
saying,
ones.
but with this narrative that's going on with cops killing black and brown people, how do we know who good and who bad? It ain't like the cop gonna come up on the scene and say, "Hey, everybody, I'm the good cop."
Right.
Right. That's,
You know,
that's
we don't know who good or bad.
And I
But
think-
but we're not saying we don't need cops. But could you imagine the inner city that we live in? Could you imagine that we don't have no cops? No cops policing that inner
well,
city?
Green, and I know you got a point, but just think about it. Just to touch a little bit on yours, there was defund the police department, defund the cops, defund that.
What exactly does defund
Yeah,
mean?
what that mean
Does
right
that
there?
mean? Does that mean like you taking away their funding? Which means that's you're gonna cut equipment, you're gonna cut jobs, because
That's a good point. When I hear that, when I hear it,
right.
and I could be dead wrong, but when I hear it, I feel like they're saying, hey, we not finna pay no cops just to be killing us. I just don't pay. And I could be totally wrong, but that's just what, and you know what, that's probably a problem. because it's never really been defined. What exactly is defunding the
Right.
cops mean?
Because to
I
me,
don't know
my
that
and
means.
again, forgive my ignorance, okay, or my naiveness, but first thing comes to my mind when you say defund the police, funding, D, which
Yeah.
is a prefix,
Yeah.
meaning take away. So you take away funding, which that doesn't make sense to me. Help me, I'm a little slow, y'all. Y'all know I ain't got no degree, so.
Piggyback.
But it doesn't make sense to take away personnel and equipment because wouldn't that make the streets
Hey, bro, I'm
a
not
little bit more vulnerable?
I'm not with the defunding of the cops.
I don't understand.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not with that.
Right.
Because I feel like
unless I get a clear, that's my definition, my interpretation. Unless
Hey,
it's something different, please.
when
Somebody
something-
educate
when
me.
something pop off,
Boy, you better call him.
Who y'all call?
who you call
You
it?
got to call him.
The damn popo.
You gotta-
Who you call
But
it?
see, here's the thing. We need cops. We need the police department. We need law enforcement. But we just want to, when we call them, do the job. Do the job you're supposed to do. That's all we ask.
Right.
We just want you to do the job you're supposed to do.
Right. Now we
You
got
know-
we agreed to earlier that we got to do our part as well.
Yeah. We have to do our
Part
part,
of
man.
Sometimes we
Comply.
gotta just comply.
We have to comply.
Sometimes we got to not put ourselves in a position to have to call the police. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate. I don't know how they, decide who makes the call, but it's just unfortunate that white police, you know what I mean? I just happen to, he ain't nice for that.
Yeah.
He ain't nice for that.
Yeah.
He's doing his shift, just like you say.
Yeah.
His wife want him to come home.
Yeah.
He ain't asked for that. And then to be called to that type of scene,
Yeah.
that's tough.
Yeah.
He's already down a couple baskets. Just think about the scene. You responded to a hostile environment with blacks and you're a white cop.
And was he the only one? at
You
the
already
scene?
down. You already down 2 points.
He was the only. I
the
think he
only
was the
cop
first
that
one to
seen-
He
respond.
arrived first. It's shortly
He was the
soon
first one to
after
arrive.
somebody else did respond. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was very soon when the other cop
Yeah.
responded. But even that, it had already happened. Green.
Yeah.
It had already happened. It had already happened. So the thing about it though, POP, do we take this situation and do you look at it as that cop was wrong for shooting that girl?
I can't. Out of respect, it's just too much heartache, too much pain, too much respect for Makiah Bryant, the loss and the family. And at the same time, I definitely don't want to send a message to law enforcement on that. That's tough. I know this truth be told on the record.
It is tough.
But I got to go on the record and said I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on that one, man.
Well-
And I just, oh my goodness, that's just, man. The only, I think only God has the answer to that.
Well, listen, I'm gonna put it this way, and I can only, I'm trying to look at everything. I'm trying to look at from
Every aspect of it.
every aspect of it.
Yeah.
But when there's a victim, I gotta look at her. I gotta look at the victim, and I gotta say to myself, if I was that victim, and God, Barbara, you was coming to stab me, and
I'm gonna want somebody
POP,
to intervene for
and
real.
you standing up with a gun,
That's real.
I want you to shoot the God, Barbara. I'm sorry. I need you to save my life.
I gotta agree with you on that, real. And I was gonna be the one to put that out there because this is a touchy subject, and out of respect to the young lady that lost her life in the family, we don't want anyone to feel like we trying to get anybody that just take sides, but under that situation, man, that's a tough situation, and me personally, I feel like the cop did his job. He No, I don't think he wanted to kill the young lady.
Serve and protect.
He was serving and protect. Hey, he saw someone that was in danger, that was finna be harmed, and he did what he had to do. You know, and again, like I said, I don't feel like he wanted to kill the girl.
No.
But shooting 4 times, maybe one shot, boom, and let that be it. But that's the only gripe I got with it. He shot her 4 times.
And that's fine. And I hear you.
I got a question. I don't mean to cut y'all, but I got a question. How far? And this, this is my ignorance. I don't know. I'm asking because I'm trying to get educated. How far does a taser reach?
Well, there's a couple things about that. Before coming to the set today, I was doing a little bit more reading, and you got to understand, cops know their weapons. Of course, you know they know which one is the most and least lethal. Right. So in that situation, what they should know. In that situation, though, when we talk about someone about to be stabbed, and we don't know. I mean, he could have got stabbed and the girl could have lived. The girl could have got stabbed and she could have died.
Yep.
You got both sides of that. We don't know what would have happened.
Girl could have kicked the knife out of her hand.
Yep.
We don't know, right? But at this point, the question was asked to the police department, well, why did that cop choose not to use the least lethal weapon? And their response was, well, there's a lot of things that could have happened with that taser if that cop would have chose to use the taser. One, it could not have had any effect on that person. We've seen that happen before. We've seen where they've been tased and they keep going, the adrenaline is flowing in their body and it don't have effect or it don't attach right. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about that, they are taught and they're trained when there's a threat to life, you go most lethal weapon. Now, it's still up to that cop to do that.
It's his choice.
But at the end of the day, the way things are going, he has policy behind his back to support the decision that he made.
Again, yeah.
Hey, that's
tough.
It's tough, man, because he did a few things right. He got a call to respond to a situation.
A hostile situation.
A hostage, and he responded. He came. That's check one. Because if he got that call and didn't show up, and that girl would have ended up getting hurt by that girl's knife, he'd have been
ridiculed.
Yeah. Whole police department.
Yeah.
So check one, he did show up. Check two, did he protect the girl that he thought was about to get killed with that knife? He did do that. But that check three, that third check, man, golly, the girl, he killed the girl. He killed the girl. That's all we see as the coach. We see this white cop kill this black girl. That's hard for us to deal with, regardless of what went down. B. Mobile said, why did he shoot her 4 times? B. Mobile said he'd have been all right. He'd have shot 1 time. But 1 or 4 times, 1 shot can kill you.
All right.
1 shot can kill you. I hear Reggie. Reggie saying, man, if that was my daughter, I would want that cop to shoot this person who was about to harm my daughter. I heard Experience say, man, just give me a better understanding of a cop job. What are cops supposed to do? What are they trained to do? You know, and I'm pretty sure cops are trained in hostile situations. I know they go through seminars where they got to think quick.
Yeah, man.
They got to think quick.
Critical thinking.
Yeah, you got to think quick. But it seemed like to us, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like to us, they think one way. When they come to the inner city, they thinking, man, I'm finna kill somebody. I'm assuming. That's all we see on TV.
Okay,
That's
check
all
this
we
out,
see.
y'all. Let's put this scenario in this. And I know it's an if. What if he would have responded to this situation, and he was already stabbing the girl, and he used the lethal force? Would we even be having this discussion?
No, that'd be a whole different discussion.
That's a good question.
that's a
Would we be
whole-
having this discussion? You know what I'm saying?
Good
I
question.
think we so
Whole
caught up
different
on it's a 16-year-old black girl, and she had the knife, and she hadn't stabbed the girl yet. But remind you now, if you watch that video, she had that knife looked pretty big, and she was finna stab this girl. So
Right.
if he would have responded and somebody was already stabbed over there laying down, and she in the process to stab somebody else, and this cop stepped in, would we be having this discussion?
And they showed that video in
Would
slow mo.
LeBron have made his statement that he made?
Piggybacking off of that, when they showed that video in slow mo, the girl who was Makiah had the knife and stabbed the girl. The girl who was about to get stabbed on the car, she was
She was in the
Trying to brace herself.
getting ready for it.
Yeah.
So again, go back to let's take all that out about 16-year-old black girl.
5 seconds later.
Yeah,
The cops show up 5 seconds later.
Now,
5 seconds later, she already stabbed, and he get out and make that decision. I don't think we having this discussion. I don't think the black community, black and brown community in the world. I don't think LeBron makes that statement or anything. You know, we looking at the fact that she hadn't stabbed her yet. We're not looking at the fact that she was in the process of stabbing her.
right. So you can't. So going into that cop mindset, I got to make a decision. If I don't make a decision, somebody's gonna die. So the family, let's put yourself in the shoes of the family of that cop to say, hey, he saved a life. He anticipated this girl was finna kill this girl.
He's a hero.
He saved a life. Like, where's his props for that? And that's sticky. No disrespect to the Makiah Bryant family, but that just goes to show what we always say, y'all. It's always 3 sides to the story. It's this side, it's that side, and then it's what?
truth be told.
On the record.
Trying to